Hi everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to another Gladsley review. So we've recently just watched the new movie Ghostbusters Afterlife in the cinema, and here's our review.
So we follow this family who have inherited a house in Somerville, Oklahoma. That house did belong to the legend that is Egon Spengler, and now her granddaughter is kind of inheriting the ghost and supernatural side of things, where some creepy stuff start to happen in this small town. So we wanted to start off by saying how good was McKenna Grace as Phoebe, the granddaughter of Egon, and yeah, she just got all his mannerisms. I felt into this movie, and but being her own character as well. So having that sort of social awkwardness, dealing with that through sort of school, but and not believing in ghosts as well. In this movie.
It's quite weird considering she obviously wasn't around when the new films were. So whether they just shoved the films on them and just said, watch this, presuming they might have watched them anyway.
Yeah.
She did a really good job, and she, like you said, she was really awkward. She looks like him. And yeah, I was just overly impressed for her age. She's going to have a really good career ahead of her. Logan Kim as well, who plays podcast. Yes. Oh my God, this kid is hilarious. He's so funny. I was just so impressed. He's going to have another kid that's going to have an amazing career ahead of him. For a kid his age, he's so confident, and I just don't know where he's getting it from.
He was really good, sort of straight-laced comedy acting. He reminded me very much like Corey Feldman. I imagine that Jason Reitman, who directed this movie, just got these two kids and showed them a bunch of 80s films and say, right, you do that, but with your own take on it.
Yeah, definitely.
These two characters are the glue to this film, and if they weren't believable or sort of funny or just was very sort of generic acting, this film would have collapsed on its own weight. And it has got a good cast already when you got likes of Finn Wolfhard and Paul Rudd, but I wouldn't say they were in it loads, and they were there and they were fun and they were good.
No, it was more focused around Phoebe, really, I would have said. But yeah, I definitely agree. Together, they were really good. So in terms of the story, the film is quite long. It's about a 2-hour film. There wasn't loads of action going off. It was quite slow in places, I kind of felt.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow burn building up to the climax of the movie. I say when, as we see in the trailer, when Paul Rudd goes to Walmart, that's when the film sort of kicks into a higher gear and you get the payoff for all the sort of slow burn build-ups.
Yeah.
In terms of the story as well, without sort of going into spoiler territory too much, I was kind of surprised I went down that road, but not at the same time.
I think it was quite a lot of material that you would have already seen in the first film. A lot of it was taken from that. I would have liked a new story, but no means to say that we're still not going to get that. We still might get new material, hopefully in coming films, maybe.
I was happy with that. I was happy that it kind of bit of a sort of put a new sort of layer on top of what we've sort of seen before.
Yeah, it didn't seem unbelievable or anything. It was quite natural.
Yes, and if anything, it kind of closed the book on this legacy of Ghostbusters, and if they wanted to branch out into another direction, it can, but if they wanted to leave it to rest now, they've kind of got that in a nice sort of...
The story arc has wrapped in that sense.
Really like the visuals in this movie. It kind of had the feel of like the rotoscoping sort of elements when they're firing the proton packs. I really like that, and some of the ghosts and ghouls that they've used, again trying to keep it spoiler free, but it did feel like there was some animatronics being used in this one. Could be wrong.
A lot of the stuff looked exactly the same as last time, and I don't know how they've done it and made it look that good, because normally now when you see films and you've got such high-tech visuals, they look really kind of, it just looks kind of too much and too fake. This didn't look like that. It kind of was exactly the same, and it sounded exactly the same.
Yes, love the special effects and sound effects for that.
Yeah, it's a huge nostalgia trip, definitely. You, in terms of that, I think you'll love it.
Yeah, and added that with the soundtrack and the score for that. Very much similar beats to the first two movies.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to hear it again in a different movie. That's what I enjoyed. I was like, this is nice to hear, but it's a different film, but still a great soundtrack. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I absolutely had a good time with this. I thought it was really good and really entertaining. I'd definitely watch it again. I love the cast. I love the music. 100% nostalgia trip. I love Ghostbusters. That was my 80s. Just, that was my life. I loved watching it over and over again. And yeah, I think they've done a really good job. And I'm just excited. I'm hoping for something in the future that can carry this on, because I have to say as well, it was really nice in the cinema to see younger kids in there that, this wasn't their generation, Ghostbusters, but that it's being passed down from family to family. I really think that's something special. So I hope you have a good time watching it. We did. And yeah.
I agree with you. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I had a lot of fun with this film. Had some nice little wisecracks. Not like lots of laugh out loud, I would say, with the original.
Laughed out loud.
Yeah.
There was a bit in the middle I just laughed.
Oh, I know
laughed,
which bit you like.
I laughed and I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous, but so funny.
But yeah, same with you. Great cast. Great special effects, great music score, and just hit the beats of Ghostbusters that you are very familiar with. And this is kind of what I appreciated more to compare with the 2016 sort of reboot that they did. What I felt that they did wrong in this 2016 was they was trying to be completely new, but then sort of throwing in all the nostalgia spins on it. So you kind of got, well, are you trying to be new, or are you just kind of do a rinse and repeat? This one, it's unapologetically a nostalgia trip, and it's familiar, but again puts its own sort of spin on it. So I really like that element. And like I said earlier in the review, if they wanted to just close the chapter on this, they can do, because this was such a very heartfelt, touching tribute for Harold Ramis, I think, in this one.
Definitely, it would be so proud.
Yeah, definitely. But if they do want to branch out into another sort of direction, they can do as well. So it's up to the audience now. They can sort of leave it and go, right, that's my sort of Ghostbusters legacy done and dusted with. But if they wanted to bring it back for another movie, or as you were saying before this review, a TV series, I think that would work really well with these new actors. I think that could easily work.
Yeah.
I have to say some of the critics have been a bit too harsh on this film, so I would definitely check it out yourself. I think because Ghostbusters is such a lightning in a bottle movie that they think that they can just easily replicate it. You can't. That's virtually impossible. But for Afterlife, we had a great time. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It certainly had the heart of Ghostbusters. So let us know in the comments, have you seen this movie? And what is your favourite Ghostbusters movie out of the lot?
As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you soon for some more reviews.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.